Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first episode of the Gamers Parley. I'm here today with Divesh and Nav, and we're starting off this new channel together. We met off through the Kojima podcast with, I forget everyone's name.
Albert.
Albert.
It's okay. Yeah, we we all met through the Kojima the Reddit, the Death Stranding Reddit.
The Death Stranding Reddit.
Started to see each other, and then we got onto the podcast done by the amazing Albert Kessa. Yes, and that's where we were all invited as guests to discuss Death Stranding, represent, and yeah, no, I got fragile too. But yeah, so that's how we got to know each other, and we got into, just the love of Kojima's games brought us all together. And now, like, it's been 2 years now. Wow, time has flown.
2020 never existed.
I know.
Technically 1 year.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that it's been 2 years that we've been doing this, and now we finally thought about doing something together, just having a channel where all of us can create content gaming related, and it's not just down to just one person. Anyone can create videos and just talk games, basically. That's the idea, and let's see where this goes.
Yeah, we're gonna have other people come back on that you might remember from the other show. We have Danny, which couldn't make it today. So you might remember Daniele from Kojima Podcast. He was the co-host for many episodes. And you might get to see Ashler again, hear Ashler again, depending on which medium he comes on.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're going to slowly all meet up again, and we'll chat through the afternoons.
We'll also try and get Anna. Anna, it's been a while. I'll see, I'll try and ask what she's been up to, but
yeah, she's been out of touch for a while, actually.
I know it's been like we've been staying in touch. Me and Divesh, like, we talk a lot, actually. As I told you,
it's real.
I know. we've been sharing games, as I told you a little while. We were talking before the recording, and so we've been sharing accounts and playing games, and so that's been good. And me and Divesh have been in touch, and thanks to Death Stranding, basically, that's what got us all together. But yeah. So
cool.
Go ahead.
So what have you been up to though in the last 1 year?
Go ahead, Divesh. You can start.
Yeah, just wait.
Yeah, that's fine. So I'll go ahead. But past 1 year, man. Yeah, absolutely. 2020 didn't exist, but it's just been
Scratch that off.
I know, right? Just been work, to be honest. Just been working. Some family stuff too. My sister got married, and so we were kind of busy with that. And
I was very impressed with the photos you published. Very beautiful wedding. I really love your culture. The colors were just absolutely beautiful.
Thank you, dude. Dan, this was kind of like done on a smaller what do you call that, scale? Yeah, basically, because the reason is, like, I don't really have a lot of family here in the US. Most of my family is in Pakistan. So if it actually happened in Pakistan, it would have been even a bigger event and stuff. But yeah, we did what we could. But thank you.
And how many days would that have been?
Oh man, it's they go nuts. It would be at least, like, the main ones are usually 3 or 4, but then people do other stuff. Other parties at different places. Like an aunt will throw a party at her house, and an uncle will throw like a dance party or something, just a celebration at one house. So it just keeps going. But come to think of it, it was good in one way because saved us money.
Yeah, I suppose so.
I know, right? Because when you have around 600, 700 people coming in for a wedding, that's a lot of
big fat desi wedding.
I know, right? Yeah, you basically go broke. What we do, desi is basically Indian, Pakistani, Bangladeshi, Sri Lankan, all these guys. So what we desi people do is, for the first 40 years of our lives, we earn money and then we spend it on our kids' wedding.
That's on one night. or maybe a
Yeah.
couple of nights.
That's what it was. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
so that happened. But other than that, it was just mostly work and just trying to find time to game and watch movies and shows. And yeah, that's what's been going on.
And Divesh, what's been up with you?
Yeah. Yeah. So actually, I suppose a couple of minutes ago, my connection got lost, right?
Hmm. No, but you were
For a
here.
stint of time.
Like you were here.
Okay. 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 So actually, the saddest news that I would want to start with is that I lost my mother in September 2020 due to COVID.
Yeah.
And so
Rough time.
from March 2020, the whole world has been in shock, like whatever has happened to us. And I suppose I hope that wouldn't have been in much high amount or much close people would have you guys would have lost, but we all have lost someone close to us or even known to us, right? Due to COVID itself, no matter where you are sitting in the world, right?
Mhm.
So it was a very tough time, and I would maybe in next episode or maybe later on in this episode, I'll go a bit deeper into how weirdly enough this particular video game Death Stranding was somehow connected, or it was a different perspective that I got from just because of my mother's death. And okay, I'll just say it again, like as of now only. So when I lost my mom, she had to be, because in India we cremate the body by burning it, okay. And when my mom went away, so due to COVID, um, the bodies were not shown to people, okay, the close ones and the near ones. So it had to be wrapped in a that white plastic sort of
Mhm.
bag that is a very opaque thing, you cannot see through it, okay. And and just imagine, it was literally the copy of how Sam got his mother, right, electrocuted in Death Stranding.
Mhm.
So it was something, because I drew parallel to it. And again, how my mother was special to video games, I would say, is because my very first interest in my life was video games, and it was because of my mother, because she, and you might be knowing Navid, because
Yeah.
in Desis, and be it Indians or Pakistanis, it is not a big thing, like that parents from the get-go support people with, right? But my mom was always vocal about me supporting. When I was 4 years old, she um, my interest was developed because of her into video games and everything. So, and before her passing away, um it was the last game that I was playing that she watched after a long time, that I was very much excited about. I went on to the live launch of the game, and then I was playing it day in day out, right? So she was very much curious about it, like it was, and she somehow knew, because she was very much apart from gaming in this past decade. She was very much shocked to know that I didn't have to kill in this game, okay. The
Yeah.
most part of the thing that I was doing in the game was just traversing the land, the US,
Mhm.
right? So yeah, so it somehow got connected to my mom also. And yeah, so it started with the COVID lockdown and everything. Then my mom passed away, but then I just got myself up together. And lately I've been into normal work and everything, and I've been following Korean movies thanks to Navid a lot. And yeah, pretty much gaming casually, yeah.
So thanks, Nav, for that.
Of course.
Always be close to your friends. It's been a
Yeah.
tough year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The numbers have been shocking. They're not stopping. So really
Yeah.
stay close to the ones you loved and try and stay safe.
Yeah.
We're living in a post Kojima directed world.
I know. He predicted it way too quickly this time. Happened
Yeah.
way too quick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually takes 20 years, but yeah, this one was very quick.
Yeah.
This one's very quick.
Yeah. What have you been up to?
I am 1 month away from my PhD thesis defense, which means the past 2 years I've spent in front of the computer reading news articles, scientific articles to write my thesis. So I've done nothing with myself, but I'm very happy that where I am, and I can start playing games again because I got free time on my hands.
I guess
You have a
we'll.
wonderful setup.
I guess Devesh
Yeah.
will agree. PhD is not a nothing. PhD is a huge thing. So what you accomplish in these 2 years is amazing. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
I actually met you guys the
Mhm.
month after the year I started.
Mhm.
Yeah, we've been through it together. Thank you.
I know, man. I'm
Mm.
glad, but
Yeah.
I'm glad that you can jump back on gaming and everything, especially with the kind of year that we're expecting next year to be. Gaming wise, it's supposed to be
Right.
one of the
Right.
biggest years of gaming, especially with the lineup, but we'll get to that later. So let's talk about
Yeah.
the year that just went by. I know you haven't been gaming much, but let's share your thoughts about what's been happening in the past 1 year. And the Game Awards, of course. That's one of the things that we're gonna be discussing. So
So in the past year,
Mhm.
all I've played, and it was a big surprise to me because I needed something to chill out, was
Mhm.
Stardew Valley. So really simple, just farming sim.
Yeah.
That when in the evening I'd play 10, 15 minutes of that,
Mhm.
addictive and fun.
Yeah.
And I've been playing recently Graveyard Keeper. Don't know if you've ever seen it.
Nope.
It's an indie game where you are a graveyard keeper and you
Interesting.
have to build the best looking cemetery. You've got to build up the church.
That sounds funny. The best looking cemetery.
Fantastic, really good game. So yeah, I've been just on the chill wave of games, and then I started Death Stranding again on the computer,
Yeah.
and it's cool because the PC version has all the expansions that the PlayStation version didn't have till recently.
Mhm.
So you get the cyberpunk motorbikes, you get all the cybernetic enhancements to
Oh wow. Mhm.
like hack into the mules.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
been playing that
I started
again.
it too, actually.
Yeah.
Same here. Just
And
this
have you
Black
guys
Friday, I
played the
bought the game
director's
for
cut?
this.
Yeah, that's what I've been playing. I've been playing Director's Cut.
How are the
Same.
improvements?
Amazing. Well, the game already looked beautiful, but now I'm playing it on ultra wide mode.
Wow.
Yeah, that is completely the game changer as per
Yeah.
my opinion. Yeah.
Yeah. It looks beautiful. The graphics. Well, the graphics were even on the PS4. It was
Yeah.
Yeah.
like
It was
just
a good game.
gorgeous. Like I had the base PS4 when we first played. I didn't even have the Pro, and the game looked.
And I couldn't believe actually that it was
Yeah.
running so smoothly day one.
Yeah, and what surprises me, like some of the next gen games even don't have the kind of fidelity and that Death Stranding had in on the PS4 era.
Yeah.
So I'm so surprised at what Kojima achieved with that. So yeah.
Well, just
Like it
think
was
of
yeah. So like it was either Red Dead Redemption 2
Yeah.
that was developed by probably a couple of thousand of people,
Yeah.
or like to this visual fidelity and this optimization day one. Apart from the Sony first party games,
Yeah.
obviously DS was also, but it was a second party technically. But the level of fidelity, as you also said, David, the level of fidelity, the next gen game, not even, they struggle to, get par with Death Stranding, in my opinion also.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's and the yeah. So in the director's cut, the ultra wide mode, it's a purely beautiful cinematic mode that I'm very much in love with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was saying Kojima's group is very good at late gen production of games.
Yeah.
If you think
Just
about,
100 people.
I think in 2001, Metal Gear Solid 2 came out,
Mm-hmm.
which is good looking game comparing it to the first one. But when you look at Metal Gear Solid 3, which was still on the PS2, the graphics are just shocking compared to the second one, how good they are.
Yeah.
So
And even,
the optimization is very good with his team.
Oh yeah, he
Yeah.
has the perfect team, I guess. He know the team knows what they're doing. So yeah.
I got to know in Metal Gear Solid 2 how they simulated the raindrops, whether it was
Yeah.
the very first scene of the game in the ship or going somewhere down the line in the missions. You got to play with the water droplets and bubbles, and they were not just there for as a placeholder assets or something. They were particularly simulated on the PS2 hardware. So
Yeah.
people do talk about how, but this time around they are like kind of an indie team, and like a team just consisting of 100 people in today's day and age, and producing this sort of fidelity and optimization. It is really something that That is commendable.
Yeah,
to say the
and
least.
fast forward 20 years, and then you get the rain from GTA trilogy remaster. Did you see that? Oh, Lord,
Yeah,
oh God,
I
it
that
was
saw
running
like
at the
the
background of the river or
presentation
something.
video was like, oh my God, they're doing a trilogy. So then I look up the reviews and they're like 0.5. I said,
Dude,
well,
it's
someone fucked up.
it's horrible. Like the rain, especially, it's like an abomination. I'm like, what the fuck did I don't know what they were thinking. It's game breaking, but that's a whole different conversation. We'll do an episode on that as well.
I think we need Danny on for that because he's
Yes,
playing
yes.
that at the
Danny and
moment.
Devesh, these are the two guys who have been doing it. So yeah,
Yeah.
you guys should definitely do an episode on that.
Mhm.
But yeah, so I see Johnny hasn't really played much in the past 1 year, but I have been playing a few. Like we have played a few. Even I know Devesh has us as well. It's like some of the Game of the Year nominees we have already played.
Mhm.
I think
I'm
the
looking at them at the moment.
Mhm.
I haven't even heard of a few of them. That's how bad I've been in my own world.
It's okay. You're getting back. You're getting there.
Yeah.
But what are the nominees? Or like what are these right now? I know it's
So,
Resident
I'm
Evil.
very
8.
much impressed by Psychonauts too.
I have the
Very
list
much
here.
impressed by it.
Yeah, yeah.
We have Game of the Year,
Uh-huh.
Deathloop,
Mm-hmm.
It Takes Two,
Mm-hmm.
Metroid Dread,
Yeah.
Psychonauts 2,
Mhm.
Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart,
Mhm.
and Resident Evil 8
8.
Village.
Yeah, I've
Hmm.
played most of them except like I haven't played Metroid Dread. I haven't played Returnal yet. Sorry, not Returnal, Deathloop yet.
Deathloop.
And It Takes Two, I have it, but I haven't played it yet. I'll probably be playing it next year. But yeah,
That's the one by Joseph Perez.
yes, the
Yeah.
fuck
Yeah.
the
I'm
Oscars.
playing A Way Out at the moment with my girlfriend, so at least I'm close to the other one.
Mm.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
We're
That's,
escaping from prison together.
and that's awesome. Yeah,
Mm.
I've heard really, really good stuff about It Takes Two, so I'm excited to jump into that. But apart from that, the ones that I've played, I haven't played Psychonauts 2. I know Devesh has. He's been playing it.
I am in the middle of it, but I'm very much, blown away
Yeah.
by it. I didn't expect it to be this good.
Well, I think it's a really old school game too. Like there has been a lot of fan following.
But it does, mix the gameplay mechanics and how it does, and it doesn't feel like it was done for for the sake of doing it, but it was done because it sublimes into its own mechanics and its own world, the way they are building it. And like from the creativity standpoint alone, this is something that I've come across very less in my gaming experience for whatever I have
Mhm.
had past 20 years or something. Yeah, so I'm still in the middle of it, I guess, but it's one of the very very creative games that I've played, and I'm very much. And apart from that, I have played Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart,
Mhm.
and I guess that is it. Out of those couple of games, apart from those couple of games, I haven't played any. I do have It Takes Two, which I'll be playing in a couple of weeks or so with a friend of mine. So I'm waiting for him to get an Xbox and we'll be playing.
Awesome.
So
Yeah.
even in It Takes Two, you can play 2-player with one game.
Right,
Mhm.
right.
So,
And
yeah.
they have it with all of their games. This particular system.
Yeah.
That
Exactly.
One of the friends can own the game, and the other person can
Yeah,
jump
that's
on it.
which is amazing.
Like A Way
It's
Out.
such a cool thing to do, especially in this
Right.
day and age when you have the EAs and with the loot
Hmm.
boxes and just trying to make money as much as they can. And then you have people like these, the publishers like these where they allow, two people to play through one game, and yeah, it's amazing. I think
Although it's an EA game only.
yeah, that's the best
Yeah, it's
part.
an EA publishing.
For the game of the year, I've played all of them. I love not all of them, but the ones that I mentioned. Ratchet and Clank was something that really stood out to me, but come to think of it, I've been reading about it too, and I think the joystick awards just recently happened, the Golden Joystick Awards, and the game, what do you call it? Let me see. Okay, sorry about that, but yeah. So the PlayStation Game of the Year was Resident Evil 8.
Resident Evil 8, yeah.
And come to think of it, I was talking to Devesh about it too. I thought Resident Evil 8 was a fantastic entry. It had everything in it. Like they kind of like from
It goes into Call of Duty as well. I've heard about it. It goes into Call of Duty mode. Like there is a lot of shooting as compared to the previous ones.
Yes, well, but what I like,
Kind of.
it's what I like about this one, like initially when before it got released, it was said to be a mashup between Resident Evil 4 and 7, which both were really amazing games. Like they kind of changed the genre. Come to think of it, Shinji Mikami with Resident Evil 4 completely changed the look of the whole franchise, right? And such a legend that he is.
Also, how you play it was the first one over the shoulder.
Over the shoulder, exactly. And that whole
And
setting.
only the couple of games that I've only played.
Yeah.
Those are the only games that I've played.
Oh, you're the only, those are the only ones you haven't played. Resident Evil 2?
Actually, I haven't, but I did play 5, which I got bored. Like
Oh, 5
almost
was
in the middle.
Yeah,
of it.
5 wasn't that great. 6 was, I don't know why the hell they made that.
5 was all right if you played with someone, because Sheva's movement was horrific.
Horrific, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember.
I bought Resident Evil 6 at a convenience store for $3 or €3. And because I moved house for my new work, so I didn't want to bring my PS4. I brought my PS3. So I was going through all GameStops trying to buy all the old games for cheap. So I got this €3 game, and after about 20 minutes, I said, "What the fuck did I buy?" Resident Evil 7, I loved it.
Yeah, 7 was amazing. They again,
so claustrophobic.
It's rare where a game takes a risk and it pays off. Where they completely change the whole system of the gaming. Like on the top of my head, I could think of 2 games that did that. One is, of course, Resident Evil 7. They went first person, and God of War, right? They completely changed the formula, and it paid off. And a lot of time it doesn't. So I absolutely loved 7 as well. So I was looking forward to 8 because it was a mix of 2 of the favorite games from the franchise. And I was not disappointed. That's what I love. Like if you think of Resident Evil 4, it was more action oriented than the previous 3 entries when it came out. And that's kind of what Resident Evil 8 is. They kind of mashed up a bit of more action and horror. So I thought it was a brilliant take and a brilliant direction where they've taken the series. And like I don't want to spoil stuff for you guys, but it has a bit of everything. And
it's on my Christmas wish list, so give it a month, I'll be playing it.
Yeah, okay. I want to hear what you have to say about that, because there are some Kojima references there too. Like not references, but inspirations.
Big titty vampire woman.
Yeah. Oh yes. But, oh my god, that game, yeah, and I played it with the 3D audio. So, and that was that's another thing about the PS5, which is amazing.
Yeah, so tell me more about this, since I am, you guys have all upgraded to PS5s. I'm stuck on my old PS4, my dusty girl with the Death Stranding tape on it.
Now, the 3D audio is really cool. I don't think they have like completely perfected it yet, but they're getting there. Like, yeah, the 3D, it's kind of like exactly where the sound is coming from.
So you have headphones?
Yes.
Okay.
And now they apparently have, I haven't really tried it much, but they have 3D audio through just the speakers as well. But I don't know how exactly that works. But
I doubt it'll be as good as headphones.
No, definitely not.
They themselves recommend headphones. And the best part about it is that, when you buy, when in legacy systems, when it's not a PS5 in front of you and it's your either PC or maybe your PS4 or any other system, the best part is that you'd earlier, and even now also in legacy systems, you have to go and buy almost a couple of $200 headset in order to experience 3D audio. But what they've done is like you can just plug in your $5 earphones as well, right? And basically the processing is being done inside the system and not inside your earphones, right?
Yeah.
So that is the best part that they're doing, and they have if technically speaking, they have a dedicated compute unit inside of
the Tempest audio.
The Tempest audio. So basically you can just plug in your $5 earphones as well, like $5 to $10 earphones, and it'll probably be, challenging the very, it'll come at par with, like, the very hundreds of dollars of
The high-end
earphones,
one.
just because audio is being processed inside of the system. So
I
that
think
is a very beautiful thing.
with what Sony is trying to do is trying to get the immersion as much as possible, gamers wise, like with the haptics,
And making it accessible,
triggers,
right?
and the 3D sound. It just gets you into the game way more than what you have been doing previously. I think that's where Ratchet
Right.
and Clank stood out to me. The haptics
Mm.
and the sound, the 3D sound, and even the graphics. Ratchet has one of like the best rate. The Insomniac, right? Like those guys
Mm.
are on a roll. Like they're putting out bangers after bangers. You know, like
They're on caffeine, I guess.
what?
They're on caffeine, I guess. Like,
They're very high on caffeine. That these guys are like if you look at Rockstar, they come out with like one game in every 8 years. These guys have came out with, like, if you think of the last 5 years, they came out with Spider-Man, and then they came out with Miles Morales, and then they came out with Ratchet and Clank, and like within the span of like 4 years.
Did
And
they also redo the Spyro trilogy, the
yes,
remaster?
yeah,
oh yes, yeah.
No, that was Toys
No.
for Bob.
No, it
No.
was Toys for Bob, yeah.
yeah. But I think that was,
Because it was Insomniac on PS1.
yes, that wasn't on. Yeah, that's they didn't do the remaster, but still, I mean, the amount of content they're putting
And they're
out.
coming with Spider-Man, the next
They're
one.
coming out with Spider-Man 2 in 2023 and the Wolverine game.
And Wolverine. Yeah.
Oh, that looks really good.
I know.
Got
So
me hyped.
I don't know how the hell these guys do it, but these guys are, and it's not like because they're making so many games, the quality is going down. No, it's actually better and better and better. And
They're
these are
upping themselves up, right?
yeah,
It's
and they're
definitely
like
not caffeine.
yeah, yeah.
Seriously.
But I think these guys are the very few ones on the next gen that they have a game running on 60 frames per second with ray tracing. Most of the games that I've played, they do ray tracing, but they lock it onto 30 frames per second.
Yeah, the performance ray tracing mode is like exclusively they are only doing, if I'm not wrong. Or if
Yeah, I don't
could
think
be
anyone
wrong.
else has done 60 frames ray tracing yet.
And that is a very sweet spot. Like, you get best of both worlds. Like, you're getting the performance of 60 FPS as well as the ray tracing part. Because when I was playing Control and even when I'm playing Guardians of Galaxy, I do keep switching between those modes, right?
Yeah.
Like whenever I see I'm in a dungeon and there is a lot of light around myself, then I try to switch to the ray tracing part. And when I'm in the very wide open, then I do switch. But these guys, like Navid said, they are doing best part, which is performance ray tracing, and I'm still kind of wondering why the other studios haven't tried for it, even if not at par with Insomniac's quality. At least they can try, and which I believe they are gonna try.
They will.
Moving forward,
It'll come there. I think it's just the fact that it's
they have the access to the hardware also. So I guess
yeah, it's the start of the next gen
the
right
first part.
now. So
Yeah.
I think that's why. But give it,
They haven't optimized yet.
yeah, give it 2 years, 1 to 2 years. Next year, I think most of the games are gonna have that. But it's amazing of
Hopefully.
Insomniac to do this. But yeah, with the okay, so if I had to pick a winner from the Game of the Year nominees, probably, since I like, of course I haven't played all of the games, but from the ones that I've played, I would probably give it to, I'd go for Resident Evil for what they've done. Yeah, but again, I love Ratchet too, but yeah, I think me personally, I'd go for Resident Evil 8.
Have any of you played Deathloop?
No, I
haven't.
I was actually gonna buy it today because it's on sale.
Which one is the game that you keep progressing and as you die you go back to the beginning? Is that Returnal?
I guess it's
Returnal and Deathloop.
I guess both of them have
Deathloop too.
somewhat similar mechanics.
They're very close to each other. It's what's it called? The genre is called. There's a name for it.
It's a roguelike shooter.
Yeah, roguelike.
Returnal.
Yeah, roguelike.
Yeah.
Roguelike, yeah. Oh, what happened to my hair?
But yeah, roguelike. I haven't played either of those. I haven't played Returnal or Deathloop, but I want to get into that. The only reason is, like with Returnal and Deathloop and games like Hades, it's like you have to play it in one go and finish the whole loop in one.
Yeah.
Although Returnal now has
Right.
a save
All
option.
the tele, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but with the amount of time I get, like, with work and everything, it's kind of
Mm.
like not possible
Same.
for me to sit and game for that long, for me to beat the
Right.
whole game. That's why I haven't really gotten into it, but I will eventually get into that.
That's why Hades is daunting. Like Hades is such a there. I played it for a couple of hours or so, and it's one of the very beautiful implementations of the world that they've created into it. Also
Great story.
combining the gameplay mechanic into the lore of it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But again, due to my schedule, I cannot get like sometimes it is hard for me to get even 30 to 40 minutes in like in one setting to
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
Right. And so Hades, as much as I want to play that game, I wish I was like 5 to 6 years back into my timeline, and so that I could play that game.
Yeah, yeah. I have the same feeling. I bought it, I played Hades for a bit, then again
Hmm.
I was like, no, I need like proper time for this
Right,
for
right.
me to sit down. But yeah,
It's a
that
very
was.
hardcore game.
Mhm. But yeah, so it's been an interesting year, games wise, like for the awards, because you can't really pick a clear winner or clear two either.
Also, just one thing, like I am on the same boat that many people that you might be seeing in the games industry or the critics might be, are that I am very much in angst as to how Forza Horizon 5 was left out. So, okay, this is coming from a guy who is not at all into arcade racing. The only kind of racing that I'm into is the sim racing, and it is Gran Turismo.
Hmm.
Somehow I used to be a huge fanboy of arcade racing back in the day, mainly only into Burnout and Need for Speed.
Need for Speed, yeah.
And
Underground.
Yeah.
I have played almost all the parts, minus a couple of them, right? And I used to be a huge fan till the PS3 era. Okay,
Mm.
but yeah, and so gradually when my taste matured or whatever, I got more and more into gaming, especially in the PS4 era. I was not at all, and even till date, I'm not into arcade races. And I did play up to like for around 6 to 7 hours of Forza Horizon 5, and I've uninstalled it, to be very frank. But then also, and it is just because of my taste, but the quality of the game that is there in day one, and what they're providing you, and how it is different from the formula of the the most arcade racers like NFS these days and everything. I'm very much like I did expect like it was this time around because of the quality of the game as well, and also the lineup that is, because this year was not of the big hitters, right? So I
No.
did expect that if it would have been any year, then it would have been this year for Forza Horizon 5, because how much accessible it is for any person that you are
Yeah.
around with, okay, and the graphic fidelity of it and everything. And in fact, there's a mode inside of it, wherein you can get inside a car and you can see the dashboard and everything, to the very stitches that have been placed on the seat covers, and then you can you know inside the bonnet of the car you can see the engine and the sounds and everything. So it's a very good product, okay. And and also, like it got 10 million players in first week or so, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, even if I'm personally not into such game as of now, but I did expect sorry, because people keep saying that it got subbed out because it was very much late into its release and it didn't clear the the but it is really in the other category of the game awards, which is they keep
Racing, best racing.
yeah, racing slash sports game. And so I don't believe that a genre should be off-putting to a video. If you're
Yeah.
going to celebrate video games and have them in the award spaces, and like being categorized them under the awards.
Yeah.
So I do believe that games like racing games in genres, and even the strategy games or the turn-based games, and even JRPGs sometimes, I
Yeah.
could be wrong, like these are the couple of a few games or the game genres that do keep out missing out from the game of the year awards and having their own separate list. So that is one thing that I didn't expect them to go with, but yeah.
Okay. But what do you
So
think, Johnny? Should should they increase the number of nominees next year? What do you think?
now In the past years, there have been a few letdowns when it comes to game of the year, because there's always like that sixth game that could have made it or not.
Mhm.
At the moment, I believe it
Yeah.
is 5 nominees.
I think it's 6.
I think it's 6. Yeah, I guess.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, it is 6.
Yeah. But I think that they should increase it to at least 8.
At least 8. For me, it's fine. 6. It pushes people to make better games in different years.
Yeah, but okay, for this year
There's
it's
also-
fine. But if you think about the coming year, God bless who has to come up with the nominees. Because you
Even
all,
Halo is there. Halo is also gonna be there.
yeah, so just imagine the lineup for the next year. It's Halo, it's Horizon, it's God of War, it's Elden Ring, it's Callisto Protocol, it's Suicide Squad, it's Gotham Knights, Forspoken, Final Fantasy 16. It's like there are at least 15 to 20
Dying
AAA
Light 2.
games. Hogwarts, they're like,
Dying Light 2.
yeah, Dying Light 2. I forgot about that. So there are like so many games that just because of this limitation of 6 games and people loving a certain genre are gonna get left out, is what I mean. Like this year, how Forza I thought should have been nominated for the game of the year, did not,
Yeah,
because the main, they want to keep the shooters and the adventure games, they give them more importance than a racing game, although the Forza has been doing amazingly well. So I think that was one reason that I was like, you know what, I think they should increase the nominees,
It's the
because
best rated game this year.
yeah, it's the highest rating for a game on Metacritic or OpenCritic, both places. So.
And also, if I'm not wrong, okay, I'm just bringing a thing from the past.
Mhm.
It is not that much serious that I take Game Awards first of all. But like, if we are talking about it, I don't even remember if Persona 5 was ever like, I could be wrong. Okay, so I'm sorry if
It was nominated.
It was nominated. Okay,
It-
because it was in my mind that it wouldn't have been nominated.
No.
Okay.
Persona 5 got nominated. That's one of the biggest JRPGs, right? So
Yeah.
that thing got nominated. But all right, but yeah, see, like, as I can tell, most of us, we haven't played a lot of the nominees from the TGAs this year. So we can't really talk.
It's also tough on current hardware.
Yeah, exactly. So we can't really talk much about the nominees. So how about this? Let's talk about the trailers. What are you guys expecting trailers wise, like the game announcements wise at the TGA?
For this year,
Yeah.
Elden Ring, they're going to probably show something new.
Okay.
It's been on everyone's mouths for the past, since the last trailer came out.
Yeah.
What else? I don't even remember what else is coming out. I remember watching the PlayStation Spotlight.
Mhm.
What's the name of it? The PlayStation
State of Play.
State of Play.
Oh, that was horrible.
Yeah. No, the last one was
The
bad.
recent one was.
The last one was bad. The one before
Really
that
bad.
was amazing. The
I was
whole
like, I stayed up for this. I could have slept.
no,
Yeah,
that one was bad. The indie one, but the one before that was really good, where they announced it was like a whole hour show. That was
Yeah.
really good.
But that was not State of Play. That was PlayStation
Yeah,
Showcase or something.
Showcase, yeah,
That
that
was
was
not
a
technically State of Play.
State of Play, they have made like they've just made it like a small update thing that they provide every 2 months. Okay, that
It's
this
a visual blog or something. It's equivalent to the visual blog, if you could consider
especially
it.
the
like that.
last one should have definitely been a blog, not a video.
Oh, absolutely.
This could have been an email.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, a forgettable email.
Should have been an email. But see, again, the thing with Game Awards is Jeff Keighley hypes it up all the time, which he has to, right? It's
It's his job.
it's his job. But sometimes it does deliver. Sometimes you get some amazing stuff at the Game Awards where you did not expect that, like Death Stranding trailer coming out or something like that, right? But then
We
there
were
are
waiting,
parts
looking forward to those many times.
no. And then we have the Game Awards like last year where they ended on the announcement of a new Mass Effect, which was, I mean, I know there's a lot of fans, but that's not something that you end a show on. You know what I mean? Usually the final game trailer is something that is huge.
What was it last year? I didn't get it.
It was the Mass Effect, a new Mass Effect.
Okay. Wasn't
That was
really-
the last
the last
trailer.
game that they showed?
The last Game Awards. Yeah, I think the final trailer, big trailer, was the Mass Effect
Okay.
remake. So that
Mhm.
wasn't that big, right? Like it is big, but considering the fact the Mass Effect, how Mass Effect Andromeda did, that didn't really hype me up. Like I was like, okay, let's see what it is about.
Oh,
But this year,
it was really a bad game.
yeah,
I played it. Yeah.
this year, I don't know. It's just a feeling that I have that the Game Awards might have a couple of really big surprises in them.
Okay. So I'll be the devil's advocate here.
Metal Gear
I'd so actually, I do agree with Navid. So as you said that Jeff Keighley does hype things up, but like noticing his recent tweets about how much he's personally hyped about what he has seen till now.
Mm,
I
Yeah,
could
he's
be
always
wrong
hyped
again,
about
but
what he's seen.
yeah.
actually yes. But this time around, like this is my personal opinion. I did. I haven't seen him being so much vocal about being so much hyped about what he has seen till date. Again, this is something that I
Yeah.
have noticed, and I do feel like if there is not as much as he's hyping, but it could be somewhere above average. What if we average out all those game awards that I've had,
Yeah. I think it'll
that
be better than
happened
last year at
previously,
least.
or the last couple of years, because last couple of
Yeah.
years have been very underwhelming in my opinion,
Yeah. Yeah.
to be
That's true.
honest.
That's true. They have to
Right.
bring, especially because he's already said that we have things to be seen for the next 2 years, like
And
2022
he
and
always keeps
2023.
hyping about the future of video games.
Yeah.
Like, in the, yeah, so.
And I think even developers wise, they would want to put something out on the Game Awards because they know this is the very last big gaming event of the year, right?
Hmm.
And people are looking forward to end the year on a high.
Especially Sony.
Yeah, yeah,
This
Sony.
is I hope. This is what I hope, because
Yeah,
they have been very much, you know, they've joined. They have always had a very good relationship with Game Awards,
Game Awards,
and
yeah.
in fact, the PlayStation experience always used to happen a day or two after the
After
Game
the
Awards.
Game Awards, yeah.
Right.
I
So
believe
yeah.
Sony will probably keep the big guns for its own show.
Yeah,
But I do believe there could be a couple of,
it's
or at least one.
possible. I think we're gonna see another look, as Johnny said, at Elden Ring, a little bit of that. Maybe
Hmm.
might see Hogwarts, from what I'm hearing, like from what I'm reading
Oh
on
yes.
Twitter, that they have something ready that they're supposed to show before the end of this year. And the only event is Game Awards. And my biggest, like, I think, guess, like something that I would wish happens and I can see happening is the reveal of the Kojima game, the next Kojima
Hmm.
game. Because just
Or
uh-huh,
a possible movie that he's
working with, yeah.
working
I
on.
guess that is far away from at least at the present to the game announcement. I guess that will come
Yeah,
at
because
the earliest.
now that we have jumped into Kojima, right? Like talking about Kojima Productions, the movie studio, right? That is like the studio that is created, that is movies, TV shows, and music. What I'm
Hmm.
thinking is, because what he said from what the article says is like it's more about relating to the game that he's making, right? So he's gonna have the game marketed in different ways. They'll have movies and TV shows and music relating to that main entity, right? Like for instance, if whatever the new game is gonna have movies relating to that, or even if it's an older game. So, he's gonna branch it out by through a video game, not like make a movie and then make a video game on it, rather than have a video game and then make a movie on it. You know what I mean? So I
No.
think,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Actually, I suppose it is not how they announced this particular news studio of theirs. They said in respect to video games, they
Mm,
said it was gonna be related to like TV shows, movies, and music, and then and I'm paraphrasing it, but they somehow told it like, and of course the video games that we are known for. I
interesting.
guess that was their wording, and it was not. It is not clear from their wording that they are talking about video game in respect to the branching out of movies and TV shows. Like it is what I remember.
Okay,
Like a okay, how they framed it. It was like we are gonna do movies and video games and TV shows, and then also what we're known for, which is video games.
Okay.
And if you go into the very early days announcement, like it was a day zero of the announcement, and that they didn't even have an office. They did say that, of course, their whatever their the business motto is, like to expand the boundaries of entertainment. But if you read into the lines, and they have, like, quote, like they have in the official description, they did say, and I guess Kojima also did say that they might jump onto, like, other forms of entertainment. And even anime was also mentioned, if I'm not wrong. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Yeah. Okay, I could see that. Then I think I could see what Johnny said happening, where it could be a release of like of a movie or a TV show from Kojima Productions. I personally, I think from all the rumblings in the past 1 year or so, right, about Kojima Productions' new game, and especially how active Kojima has been in the past few months, right? If you
Yeah.
guys have
about
noticed,
Konami properties like Metal Gear, especially Metal Gear,
yeah,
this is something
he's been
I'm surprised.
really into tweets and everything. He's been tweeting about what he's been doing at work, how he's been working with his coworkers, how he's going to see everyone personally and guiding everything. And like we all know, there is a project in the work. They already announced it officially, and I think yeah, they officially announced that Kojima's new
Yeah,
game
yeah,
is
they did, they did.
underway, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
thinking of the timeline,
I
right?
might have missed this. What was it?
Yeah, like
yeah,
Kojima
yeah.
Productions
There was
officially
an official
announced
announcement,
that we are already working on the next game.
and they hired for it, and they're even hiring for it right now.
Yeah. So, and that was like a year and a half ago, I think.
Yeah.
So, considering how timelines work for Death Stranding, if we keep that in mind, the first trailer for Death Stranding was in 2016, I think.
I think
Right.
so.
Yeah, 2016 was the first teaser.
Straight
It
after
was
the Metal Gear Solid 5, which
Yeah,
was
2015. It was
2004.
Metal Gear Solid 5,
yeah,
and after 6 to 7 months, it was like DS was announced. Not It didn't even take 1 year for him,
yeah,
and
yeah.
they produced that particular trailer, that teaser of DS on alleged, like, Insomniacs or
Insomniac's
Sucker Punch
graphics
Sucker
engine.
Punch engine.
But yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, so when you think about that timeline, right? 2016, the game released in 2019. 3 years. He had the game ready. It's been 2 years already since the game has been made. 1.5 year already till they announced that they're working on a new game.
Officially.
Yes. So if even if you consider it being 4 years, because I know for a fact Kojima said that one of the projects fell apart within the 2 years, right? He was working on it, didn't work out, the whole thing went down.
Could have been Death Stranding Part 2. Hopefully not.
No, from what we are hearing is Death Stranding Part 2 is in talks with Sony
Is it?
right now to make the second part, because it was always supposed to be a trilogy. So that's
It was also a money problem. It was going around a few months ago that it didn't sell well. But then if you look at the PC release,
they made good
it
money.
sold very well.
Yeah, they make really good money. So, and with
5 million
Kojima,
plus.
the trust that PlayStation has on Kojima, that's not going to be a thing, a factor that's going to not let
The
them
name
invest.
sells.
Yeah, exactly. And
buying a well-polished game.
Exactly. And people are loving it now. That's the thing. People who didn't try it 2 years ago, the people who are playing it now are loving Death Stranding. So that it's gonna be a cult classic, as you call it, right? It's gonna grow with it. Give it some time, and people are gonna be more into it as well. But yeah, so that timeline, even if he with the drop project, even if you take out 1 year from there, in the past 2 years, 3 more years would be 2020, 21, 20, like 2023 is where I see a Kojima game dropping. And
Most
Kojima,
likely.
yeah. So if you're thinking 2023 and Kojima game dropping, if they start teasing 3 years before, I think this is the perfect time for him to start teasing the new game.
And the perfect venue also.
Exactly. Jeff Keighley, right? The bond that they have, he always comes up with something for the Game Awards, right? Even if it's not game, he will be personally present to present an award or something. He's always there in some capacity. So I'm thinking we are getting a teaser of the next good, even if it's like a very small teaser, we're getting something. I know, right?
Which is gonna be.
Yeah, and it's just my feeling. That's what I feel on the inside. Like I think Kojima is gonna just put out something, and he's been tweeting about recording stuff anyway right now. So yeah,
We're gonna get another I'm back again.
yeah, I'm back again. That sounded very Italian though.
Hey, it's me.
Yeah.
I've been listening to English
It's
and
me.
talk like this for 3 years.
It's me.
Oh man, I'm forgetting English here. Like it's so bad.
Yeah, but yeah,
Anyways,
I think
also, have you seen the Uncharted trailer, the movie?
yes,
I'm sure we'll get something else there.
that's possible. That is possible. Because there's another movie that they're showing. I think which movie?
Resident Evil they've done, which is a big flop apparently.
Yeah, yeah. They mix two games together. How the hell do you mix two games and make one movie out of it? When each
Well,
game is
that's what I think Jordan Vogt Roberts is doing with the Metal Gear movie.
I hope not.
I think you can get it right though.
See, it's very tough. Like
It is.
the kind of saga Metal Gear is, how it spans. I think every movie should be handled according to how the games are. And if they want to do it, they should do it chronologically. Like go from Metal Gear Solid 3 and move forward.
Or
I
maybe tell a
believe
different
he's gonna
story into
do.
that universe.
Yeah,
Sorry, Devesh. Can you
Yeah.
repeat that, please?
Actually, I just said that, or maybe just tell a different story in that particular universe and also while taking references, or maybe
I think that's what he's
thought
gonna
from
do. He's gonna
That'd
probably
be safe.
some of the other
Yeah.
game.
Because
Yes.
otherwise, what you can do is an asynchronous movie where you've got 3 main characters
Yeah,
in 3 different timelines. You get Big Boss, you get Venom Snake, and you get Snake.
yeah.
And you've got all these flashbacks back and forth.
That would be
Remember,
nice.
I sent you guys a video about a month or 2 ago. A friend of mine from Italy made the Venom
saw that.
post-game video.
Mhm.
Did
Yeah,
you guys watch it?
I did.
I did.
Shout out Luke Nakamura.
Yeah, he did a fantastic job actually. That's one of
There.
the better fan films that I've seen. But I get where you're coming from with 3 timelines. The only thing is, us gamers are gonna get it, but for them to sell it as a movie, I don't think people are gonna be interested in watching 3 snakes when they're not even aware of the first snake.
But they won't know
Including
they're
me.
3 snakes. That's what I think. Like the
okay.
fans will know.
Yeah,
Same actor, different clothes.
interesting. That is one way you can take it. But from what I've heard, Jordan
That is prone to blunders or something. That is highly prone to blunders. Okay.
yeah, you have to like
Yes.
nail it to get that
Yeah.
right. You have to completely
Pinpoint
nail it.
accuracy.
But what I've heard with Jordan is like he's creating, like he has his own take on a story as well. Like he's made some tweaks, but he's also focusing on some characters that he loves, and he's been really closely working with Kojima with the script, which is a great
Which is
thing,
good.
And also how
Yeah.
he sounds like he does come off as a very different person compared to the other people that have played their part in implementing a video game.
game adaptations.
Like,
Yeah, this guy knows.
Yeah,
like,
right.
He knows what he's talking. Like
And I've watched his couple of movies. Like
Yeah.
those are the only movies that he's made. One is of course Kong, and other one is his first movie, The Kings of Summer, I guess.
Kings of Summer. That was a fantastic
And
film.
that's a very beautiful movie.
Yeah, that's a great
a very, very, very good movie.
No, Jordan Walk. He's making the Gundam movie for
Yeah.
Netflix.
Which I'm also excited for.
Yeah, so like
Really.
he knows what he's doing. He's a proper nerd. He's a Metal Gear fan.
Right.
So I expect him to do good, and I know he's a big fan of Gray Fox. So that's one character that I would
Perfect
love to
spin-off.
see in a movie.
I've just heard about him, her, or it.
Oh no, man. That
I don't know
that
anything about
character
Metal Gear.
is the weirdest thing is that character was in only one game, but his impact has lasted on all of these games. And he's always there, right? Gray Fox. There you go. The
There you
OG.
go. You can play 3 missions with him.
Yeah. But no, he's such an amazing character. I really hope Jordan does more with Gray Fox. But yeah, so that's what I think. Like I think Kojima is gonna reveal himself again this Game
In
Awards.
what sense he's going to reveal himself?
Well, that only Kojima knows. But
I guess it's safe to say
Look at that
that
division.
he's working on.
See this? As a child, I had that graffitied on my wall here.
That's awesome.
Did my audio miss out?
No. It's fine. Go ahead.
Okay.
Continue.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. No. Okay, it's fine. So yeah. So what I was saying was that I think it's safe to say, and there are rumors as well, that he's working on a horror game because he keeps tweeting out about like most of the stuff that he either reads or he watches is somewhat horror related or something. Yeah, I guess. And also one thing that I found weird, and it's just a tinfoil head of mine that I'm putting on as of now, is that like since past year or so he's been tweeting actively a lot about Metal Gear, and which he was not at all even acknowledging. Like he didn't even utter a word about Metal Gear or any Konami property in his earlier years till the launch of Death Stranding, I suppose.
Yeah.
But recently he's been a lot vocal and open about talking about his whether his experience back in the day or anything
He
about
did
Metal Gear.
retweeting loads of Metal Gear stuff too.
Yeah. It's
Yeah, that is it.
interesting. Like right now, there are like 3 to 4 rumors, right? And I want to get your opinions on it. Like, what do you think would be true? The first one is,
should we give it a mark out of 5, like on the rumor scope?
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, that works. So the first
0, I don't believe in it. 5 sounds reasonable.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
Let's do that. So the first one is Xbox exclusive. Kojima's next game is Xbox exclusive.
3.
Devesh.
I'd say it's 4. It's gonna happen.
That he tried to go to Microsoft once.
Okay.
Or I would say it's the
Independent
opposite
studio.
one. Like Microsoft tried to
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
I'd say 2.5. I think it could happen. It could happen.
I think this could happen.
But I don't, considering how strong the ties between Herman Hulst and Kojima is, I don't think Herman is gonna let Kojima go. I don't see that.
And I differ on this part because I think Kojima doesn't think that he's gonna be prevented by some or the other party unless he obviously gets paid.
It's not just paid. I think he's more about creative what do you call that? Freedom. Yeah.
Freedom. Yeah.
As long as he has that.
And Xbox does, like, as far as their track record has been since 2013, there have been not only rumors but news about how a couple of teams and directors of Halo even got of the project, and even the Insomniac guy that left Insomniac and joined that studio that is their quadruple A game that is developing I just forgot its name, Zero Dark or something, and then he again went back to Insomniac Games from that studio. Yeah, so there are troubles under the Microsoft umbrella of studios, but if he's guaranteed, I guess, like, he's the kind of guy, and he's one of those only guys like who can work for Microsoft and Sony, and I wouldn't prefer Nintendo over this because Nintendo works literally apart from anyone. But yeah, I do consider that at least this is the point of time that not only these platform holders like Microsoft and Sony, but I guess obviously there would be like EAs and Ubisofts of the world running behind him. It does seem to me. Okay, and he does seem the kind of guy who can work on his own terms as of now, I think, and he knows this, which is.
I think it's gonna be multi-platform. It's not gonna be a Sony exclusive. It's not gonna be an Xbox. I think it's gonna be Sony and Xbox both. I think that is,
I guess, probably more in the middle ground of it, which is actually gonna happen, which is potentially gonna happen, right?
Yeah. So the second rumor is a horror game, that Kojima is working on a horror game. And
4.
6.
6. No,
I don't Junji Ito.
Wow.
That's all he wants to do at the moment.
I know, right? And I
managed to work with Mads Mikkelsen and Norman Reedus, and his next big thing is he needs to work with Junji Ito.
Yeah, I know. I think I'd give it a 4 as well. It's highly likely that his next game is a horror game, especially considering the fact that how many games have been inspired by PT and have done so good in the past 5 years, right? It's crazy. Every big horror game that's been a hit in the past 5 years has inspired something from PT, right?
And
And it's
and
insane that it was just a demo.
Like
So,
Abandoned. Have you tried that?
man, yeah, I felt so abandoned
Yeah.
that game.
right.
Yeah, but I don't know who knows, that might show up in the Game Awards.
Actually, yeah, that could show up.
Yeah.
That could be something that might show up. But yeah, so another thing that ties up with that horror game, the third thing was that it's actually a Silent Hill game. That Sony has bought the rights from Konami. Konami has already said that it's letting their franchises to be developed by a third party. One, I think
Was that proven though?
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
they themselves said that they're letting third party make their franchises.
Okay.
It did even
Because-
invite volunteers and students and interns in Japan itself. They announced for like you just bring your game to us and we'll see. And if we find something good into the prototype, it's not a game. I'm sorry. Then we'll fund the whole project of it. You just have to be Japanese.
Okay, interesting. And VGA, I think no, yeah. What is that website? Video game something, VGC.
Chronicles.
Yeah,
VGC.
VGC. Video Game Chronicles. They actually they were like they didn't even say might be working. They just said Kojima Productions is working on a
It is working.
So it's interesting. Like I could see as soon as Konami decided to give their franchises out, Sony was like, "Oh, Silent Hill, we want it." And you know what? Who we want it to make? It's Kojima. So that's another rumor that I have high hopes for. That it actually might be Silent Hill that Kojima is working on with the horror games. What about you, Johnny? What would you rate that?
I said 4.
Oh, you said 4. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Devesh? How likely is that?
Okay, practically speaking, I would say 4.5. And so one thing I would like to add is like I have played only 2 Kojima games till now. One being obviously Death Stranding and other being
Need to catch up.
Phantom Pain.
Yeah,
The other being Phantom Pain. And the best part about those 2 games is there are very less but very subtle horror elements into those games.
Yeah.
Like the very first time that I encountered BTs,
yeah.
it really scared the shit out of me. It really did scare
Yeah.
the, like the sound effect and the whole environment changed in front of me in a snap and everything. And I literally ran to the very top of the cliff and just somehow survived.
Also the
Yeah,
skulls
was
and
really-
MPSV.
Yeah.
right.
Status was fucked.
Yeah.
That
You know what the
Really?
problem with Metal Gear Solid 5 is? I keep going back to it.
Yeah.
What I've done is I've ripped the audio from the game.
Mm-hmm.
And when I drive, I listen to the tapes.
Oh, okay.
And the more I listen to them, the more little nods that I didn't pick up while I'm playing. And it's just so rich in detail that it got lost
man.
in the tapes.
It
See,
did. There's
this
so many
happened to
things
me.
people are finding out later on within that tapes that hint to so many things. And like if I don't know if you know about Python Selkin, the YouTube.
Of course.
Yeah,
The
those guys
Maltese
really-
brothers.
They dig
They are
really
the complete
deep
nerds.
into audio audio tapes, and they had brought out some stuff that I totally missed. I'm like, oh shit, how did I miss this? Right? It adds to the lore, to the story of the whole game. And I agree that there's a
Yeah,
lot that get lost.
Yeah, so this happened with me in Death Stranding. So there were so many bunch of emails that I somehow missed, and so what I did was by the end of the game I literally clicked pictures of it, right?
Yeah.
Because I didn't have time to sit in front of a TV and read a bunch of emails. Okay, and it took me a week or so, maybe 10 days, and I was completely into that world. Like the world building is so rich in that game also. That like when I used to sleep or do any of my free stuff, I used to just dive deep into those emails, and then you connect the dots, and how beautiful the only the part that they are lacking it, or maybe it's the necessary evil that they have to do, is because like in Phantom Pain they did those instead of the cutscenes or any flashbacks, they are like in Death Stranding there are emails, and in Phantom in their audio logs, which I think is necessary, I guess, even if they do not want to do it, because of how much rich context they add to the world and everything and the details. Also, I didn't understand shit out of listening the tapes in Metal Gear Solid 5 because I haven't played any Metal Gear game. Okay, it was my first game. But yes, it did happen with
Well, you're
to me
lucky
in Death
because it's a
Stranding and-
prequel.
Yeah.
You're not missing much.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I did listen a lot of tapes, to a lot of tapes. So yeah, coming back to the point that I was saying was, so yeah, the horror element. Um, I do suppose like how he implemented a few horror elements in both these games, Phantom Pain and Death Stranding. I do suppose that he literally wants, and especially after his game being cancelled, Silent Hills, and how much he was excited about in his interviews and everything, about making a horror game, and for the first time not working on a Metal Gear game, which he's always been talking about since his very first game, that it's going to be the last one, which
Yeah.
I've heard obviously.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think he would himself also want to, like, dive deep into the horror genre and do something with
he
it.
saw what he did with PT and how much craze that brought to the whole genre, right?
Just one more
But
thing.
it'll be a tragedy if he did not make a horror game. You know, it's he's nailing everything that he like. PT is such a it's a demo, and for God's sake, it's better than whole complete games that
It's
are
in top 10 lists
yeah.
Yeah.
It is. It's
for a 30-minute
amazing.
game.
I know.
And he did say once,
What?
yeah, so someone asked him about making a horror game or something, and what I liked about him, and I'm paraphrasing what he said, but he did say this thing exactly, and I'm paraphrasing it.
And unless you speak Japanese, you have to paraphrase.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he said something like that he doesn't want to create games that have already been created or the kind of games that have been created, and he said that he would create a horror game only if there is something that he could add on top of the current type of games that are made into the horror genre. And he did say that he's obsessed with creating new type of games.
Yeah.
So that does sound like, if you connect the dots or if you think over it, I do see him it is very highly likely that his next game is going to be a horror game.
Horror game.
Maybe
that's true.
not as high budget unless it is Silent Hills, but something is going to be there.
I think his next project is definitely a horror game, and after that, I think it's going to be Death Stranding 2. It has to be. But
Has to be.
yeah,
Hopefully.
but horror game, I think I know what the collector's edition would have with it. It's going to be a pair of extra pants. That's what he keeps talking about. Do you remember? Like every time he was giving an interview related to PT, his first words were like, "I want to make a horror game that's not gonna make you piss your pants, but you're gonna poop your pants, and you'll need a new pair of pants." So, yeah, I think that would be a nice thing to do. Just have
that just gets me excited, man.
Pants.
Now, no, everybody's scared to say it.
Yeah.
But it's time. We've hit the 1 hour mark.
Awesome.
But there's one rumor left that everybody's scared to come up with.
All right.
You all know what I'm talking about.
The Metal Gear remake?
He said it. The Metal Gear remake.
Yeah.
It's been spoiled like this. Like, the VGC themselves made a report out of, like, they did an article, an exclusive article, in which they said the Singapore-based studio named as Virtuous. Which, and which is a very big studio. It has worked on Death Stranding and almost
it's a
every third party or second party, first party game that you can name in past 5 or 6 years.
They're remaking it.
It's a team of thousands of developers. It's a very big company, and I think it's kind of spoiled, but it's a very good spoiler if it is that they're working on Metal Gear Solid 3 remake.
3 remake, yeah. That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
Did you hear about that, Johnny?
What was that? Sorry.
Have you heard about that rumor? The Metal Gear Solid 3 remake.
3 remake.
Yeah,
we got a pachinko machine with high quality videos. We don't need a remake.
I know. Well, Konami actually wanted to use the pachinko screen. What do you call those?
Videos.
Yeah, videos basically. This so they wanted to use that in the new game, but although they looked really good, no doubt.
Even they look so good.
I know they looked.
Those were on Fox Engine, which was a very
Fox Engine.
But now they're like, we're just outsourcing it to third-party studio, like studios, and what they're doing is, as Devesh said, it's Virtuous Studio from Singapore, and the first initial rumor was it's Metal Gear Solid 1 remake, which firstly
But that
started
was
with,
supposed to come up from
Blue
Blue
Point.
Point.
Yeah, which was
Yeah.
supposed
Yeah.
to be Blue Point.
Also, it's been bought by Sony.
Yeah,
That was
but
the big leak a few
big
months
leak,
ago.
yeah. But that all changed, and now it's like, oh, it's been worked on by Virtuos, and it's not a Metal Gear Solid 1 remake, but rather a Metal Gear Solid 3 remake, which I'll be really happy about because that's my favorite Metal Gear Solid 3.
You can do an open world in the jungle, which would be
Oh
pretty
my,
cool.
it'll be awesome.
And that's what I've heard is chronologically the first part, like before the Phantom Pain, right?
Yes.
If I'm
Yeah.
not wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's 8 years before Phantom Pain.
Yeah. 8 years, I
Hmm.
think. Yep.
Yeah, I think so.
But
No, but the relationship between the boss and Big Boss
oh man,
is something you can really work on in that game.
that's, I think I've mentioned this in previous discussions we had too, that what I like, if they're making a new Metal Gear game, like a completely new Metal Gear game, I think they should focus on the Cobra unit. That's the story.
Absolutely.
That's the story that they should go for. Like with the boss and the Cobra unit, there's so much potential in there. Like they could do some insane stuff. So I don't know. Knowing Konami, that won't really happen. But yeah, that would be my dream next.
I'd focus on what Metal Gear Solid 5 didn't deliver,
Mhm.
which is the switch. Like I personally, I thought from the trailers and everything, that Metal Gear Solid 5 would have gone into Venom in what's the haven called? Oh damn it, I forget it. Outer Haven.
Outer Haven. Yeah. Mhm.
The game finishes with you switching sides using Solid Snake and killing him.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That would have been gut wrenching. Or even better, you keep using him and you cannot win the last fight. You have a boss battle,
Mhm.
but you cannot win. And it's something that Kojima would do because
Yeah.
betray your audience.
I know.
So, it's the game you cannot win.
Exactly. And
So I
especially-
would have looked into something like that, but anything will do. Like the IP is so big, you can't just let it die off like that.
yeah, that's true. They have to do something with that. And I think there was also in the audio files, there were some connections to Gray Fox as well.
In which game?
In Phantom Pain, there were
Mhm.
some subtle hints of Gray Fox, like Venom and Big Boss being on mission with Gray Fox.
Well,
I
Gray
think-
Fox was with John in South Africa
Yeah, yeah. So
in that time. So
I
yeah,
would even love to see something set in that time as well.
there already is portable ops.
Yeah, that's true.
You have to save him.
Yeah.
There's also Roy Campbell, a young Roy Campbell in it.
Yep. No man, this is that, as you said, this whole saga is so rich and there's so much more that could be done with it. And I'm pretty sure Kojima had a lot in mind to do with it, but sadly,
That he was taking too many nano machines at the time.
yeah.
Nano machines, son.
Man. But yeah, I think we are all excited about whatever Kojima is
These
working
all the
on.
jargons, like whatever you guys were talking past couple of minutes, it's all just jargon to me. The
Yeah.
nano machines, the Grey Fox, and
Nano
You need to
machines,
buy
dude,
yourself a PS3 and buy the Legacy Edition. There's all the
Yes.
games in it.
Yeah. I've heard
actually there's
coming out
sorry,
too.
actually I have an Xbox and I guess there is an SD collection over there also.
Yeah.
I think actually GOG just came out for PC, all the games. But you won't get Metal Gear Solid 4. That's PS3 exclusive.
Exclusive.
That is literally locked on that particular machine. Yeah.
Yeah. Metal Gear Solid 4 is it's not a masterpiece. I think it's especially with the storytelling, right?
Oh, yes.
That the whole it's like it has like
1 hour
eight-
cutscenes.
8 hours, right?
Of total cutscenes, yeah.
Yeah. 8 hours of cutscenes. So you just sit back, relax, and watch the magician do his work. And I think some of his best work, cutscenes wise, is in Metal Gear Solid 4.
Yeah.
One of my favorite openings, apart from 3, the Halo jump, I think is the opening of Metal Gear Solid 4. Just the very first shot and that violin kicking in, And
in the cemetery.
Yes, and the very first dialogue, war has changed. Man, that the whole thing still gives me goosebumps. Like whenever I, watch that game or play that game. But yeah, that's a must play game, Divesh. You should definitely play Metal Gear
Watching,
Solid 4.
like, so not watching, playing Phantom Pain and watching those cutscenes is one of the couple of two reasons that made me jump into cinema, I would say. I'm not a big cinephile even now also, but I was not at all into cinema. I was just a very mainstream guy. And back in 2016, I would say, I watched Interstellar, and a couple of months or so later, I played Phantom Pain due to me being excited for Death Stranding. And watching the cutscenes in Phantom Pain and again Interstellar made me like they literally changed my life, and like me following the camera movements and noticing camera in movies and everything. And
Yeah.
I really liked cutscenes of Phantom Pain. I didn't know. I haven't.
I think
Yeah.
he that's like not just him, but a lot of prolific movie directors like J.J. Abrams and of course Guillermo del Toro and all these guys, Edgar Wright, Neil Blomkamp, all these guys mention Kojima when they say like Kojima should make movies. Like he's an author, like,
Definitely.
Seems so.
he's a master class in filmmaking just through his cutscenes that he has in games, right? So I'm so happy that Kojima Productions is actually starting movies. I would love to see a movie directed by Kojima, right? That would be like a dream come true for not just for me, but even for these directors who would be ready to work for him. Even like if it's a production house, maybe he'll hire some of these directors that he knows to create episodes of the TV shows that he wants or the movies that he wants. So he has those connections to really good directors that he might use to create the content for his the production house. And I think one last thing before we kind of like close this off, because I think we've already reached like 1 hour 15.
Yeah, it's getting late.
Yeah, so the one last question, like it's a very random question, but do you guys think Kojima is gonna use big actors again for this next game, or he's gonna go back to his old school days with just
I don't think so, but I do think so. I guess Norman Reedus, just because he was in Silent Hills.
Yeah.
Silent,
I would
okay.
say.
So you're saying if the game is Silent Hill, then he's reusing.
Yeah, if it is.
If it is, then it's definitely Norman. Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. I think he's gonna go for big actors, but totally different from Norman Reedus and Mads Mikkelsen. I think he's gonna come up with new names. Probably like Ryan Gosling or
Ryan Gosling. He wanted him in Death Stranding. So
Ryan Gosling, Benedict Cumberbatch, one of those guys, right? One of the big names. Tom Hardy, maybe. So he's a fan of all these guys. I see a new big name coming into his gaming, spectrum.
In the Kojima verse.
Yes, Kojima verse. That's what we should call it, to be honest. But yeah, this was really good. This was a good discussion.
Okay. It was great seeing you guys.
Yeah, same here. It's been a while.
Same.
This is just the start. We're gonna have more people, and as I said, you guys are free to make whatever content you want on this channel and just start putting up everything. It's like a main base. It's our mother base. So just create whatever you want gaming related on this channel. So I really look forward to.
So where do we find you, Nav?
Where do you find me?
What are your handlebars? These are mine.
Oh man, I have one pack. This is my one pack.
I have a lot of them.
No, but we'll be having. We're gonna have a whole social media spectrum with this channel soon. So, yep, look forward to that.
Okay, so thank you all for listening. This is the Gamers Parley, and we'll catch you next time. See ya.
Take care.
Ciao.
Take care, guys.